Yo, it's time to subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. What are you doing?
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous.
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. Like the video. Come on.
Hell
you know
yeah.
the drill.
Button.
And slap that like button.
Woo!
Hey.
Welcome back to another Destiny 2 build guide, everybody. I'm Paid to Be Famous. You guys can call me Paid. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down one of the best Warlock builds in Destiny 2 right now. It isn't a new build. It's been around for a while, but in Season 23, there's some new artifact perks that have made this even stronger than it was before. This build will help you become the king of endgame content, Master Lost Sectors, Grandmaster Nightfalls, Raids, and once again, this build will have you single-handedly stunning all three champions without having to rely just on weapons, so you don't have to run around with a double primary loadout. I've been uploading a lot of build guides lately. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are enjoying the content, and if you guys are a fan, I will continue to do so. And I also want your guys' input on what build I should do next. I've been doing a lot of Warlock builds, but let me know if you guys want that Hunter and Titan content on this channel. So Guardians, drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button. Now let's get into this. So we are on the Shadebinder Warlock subclass. We got the Winter's Wrath super, one of the best supers in the game for endgame content. It isn't really a DPS super, but it does help you lock down rooms, especially when you're getting overrun by ads. You can just pop your super and freeze the entire room with this. It can really help you out in those tough situations in case your whole fire team goes down and you need to get a revive. Just pop your super, get a few freezes off, and you'll be safe to get that revive without being shot by every ad in the room. Of course, we're taking the Healing Rift to keep us alive in the endgame content. Your jump doesn't matter, use whatever one you want. The only melee option we have is Penumbral Blast. Gonna send out a freezing projectile, which is going to instantly freeze any target. Really useful if you're getting rushed by those melee combatants that really hurt in Grandmasters. And for the grenade, we are taking the Cold Snap grenade, a grenade that freezes on impact and sends other seekers to find and freeze targets. It is a really good grenade. All you gotta do is throw it on the floor and it will automatically seek. The Cold Snap grenade paired with our exotic that we're using will help you freeze entire rooms, and we'll get into that exotic later. For our first aspect, we are using the Bleak Watcher. Whenever you press and hold the grenade button, you convert your grenade into a stasis turret, aka Stacy, and it is going to fire slowing projectiles at nearby targets. So as you can see, we're going to consume our grenade, hold it down, throw it in the middle here, sets up the little turret, and it's just going to start slowing targets, freezing them, and it's just going to keep on freezing. And already half of these guys are immobilized and they can't shoot at us anymore. Bleak Watcher aspect is definitely the one you want when it comes to endgame content. Then we've got Ice Flare Bolts. Shattering a frozen target spawns seekers that track and freeze other nearby targets. So this is really going to help you out in freezing multiple targets. So we're going to freeze a target over here, and we're going to shoot him, and it's going to spawn another seeker going to another target. Shoot him again, it'll spawn another seeker, and you can just keep chaining this as long as there are enemies around. Now for our first fragment, we're using Whisper of Fissures. Increases the damage and size of the burst of the stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. Whenever you freeze targets, they're going to be bunched up together, so all you gotta do is shatter one of them and they will pretty much all shatter. It does a lot of damage, and even in Grandmasters, you can shatter multiple targets at once. Then we have the Whisper of Torment. You gain grenade energy each time you take damage from a target. Then for our third fragment, we have Whisper of Chains. While we're near a frozen target or a stasis crystal, we take reduced damage. So we're going to go over here, freeze one of these guys. And as you can see on the bottom left, we have a resist. We're getting resistance. And you can be pretty far away from the frozen targets and it'll still work. And we're taking Whisper of Rending. Primary ammo weapons do increased damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets. So you really are going to need to capitalize on enemies as soon as they get frozen, because they don't stay frozen forever. And if you don't run this fragment, it does take quite a bit of damage for you to actually kill a frozen target. And like I said, you need to eliminate them immediately or they will unfreeze and wreck you. Now let's talk about the artifact mod. With this build, we are combining the powers of fire and ice. So we're going to be using a solar weapon. Therefore, we're using Kindling Trigger. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. We've got Torch. While Radiant deal increased weapon damage to combatants affected by Strand and Stasis. And we have Flint Striker. Rapid solar weapon precision hits and rapid solar weapon final blows grant you Radiant. Then we have Rays of Precision. While Radiant, solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite. So with these 4 artifact perks, we have the power of fire on our side. And then we are going to combine that with the power Armor of Ice using the artifact mod called Hail the Storm. Shattering encased targets and stasis crystals deals increased damage. Shattering stasis crystals release shards of ice that damage and slow targets. So not only do we have the fragment that increases damage on shattering stasis crystals, we have this artifact mod here that's also going to boost the damage. And then we're going to be taking advantage of strand weapons. So we're taking unraveling orbs. Picking up an orb of power grants strand weapons unraveling rounds. And our weapon of choice for strand is going to be the scatter signal, one of the strongest weapons in the game right now. We've got enhanced overflow and controlled burst on it, and whenever we pick up an orb we get those unraveling rounds. And then we're pairing it with one of the best exotics this season, the Polaris Lance. This is going to help us take advantage of the fire aspect. This weapon is going to grant us radiant, it's going to get us scorch stacks, and it's going to ignite enemies. Then for the exotic armor, we're using the Osmiomancy gloves. Our cold snap grenades have an additional charge that recharges quicker on direct impact. The seekers spawn from cold snap grenades travel further. Now, a lot of people don't realize how good the energy you get back from hitting a combatant dead on. So as you can see, if we throw our grenade and hit him exactly in the chest, we pretty much got half of it back already. So we have 1.5 grenade energy after we just threw this. On top of getting energy back once we take damage, we already have 2 grenades at our disposal again. And this also synergizes with the Bleak Watcher. We can charge our grenade, throw the turret out. We have 1 turret right there, and we can just charge another one and throw another turret down. And depending on how much damage we take and how much energy we get back, we can probably get a 3rd one out on the field. As you can see, pretty much everything out here is frozen and nothing can really shoot back at us. These are the mods that we're going to be taking with us. We got a heavy ammo finder on the helmet. We've got a solar siphon, help us create orbs with our Polaris Lance. Also rocking a radiant light. Not really necessary, but I only had 1 energy left, so I just slapped it on there. For the gauntlets, we have bolstering detonation, grants class ability energy when you cause damage with this grenade. We also got a solar loader on the gauntlets. On the chest piece, I've got a charged up mod, increase the maximum number of stacks of armor charge we can carry. And then you can add whatever resistant mod that you need. For the boots, we have a recuperation mod, replenishes our health each time we pick up an orb. Better already, starts our health regeneration every time we pick up an orb. Then we have a solar weapon surge to help boost our damage a little bit with our Polaris Lance. On the class item, we have a Reaper mod. Every time we pop our class ability, next time we get a weapon final blow, we'll spawn an orb. We have 2 bomber mods to help us get our grenade back even faster. Then, like I said in the beginning of the video, you can stun, barrier, unstops, and overloads all by yourself. Your Polaris Lance is going to make you radiant because of the artifact mods. While you're radiant, Polaris Lance is going to have anti-barrier rounds. Also, the Polaris Lance is going to help with unstoppables. While you're radiant, Polaris Lance is going to grant Scorch, and you get enough Scorch on an unstoppable champion, they are going to ignite, and ignitions will stop unstoppable champions. Then for overload champions, all you need to do is slow them. So basically, you just throw down a Stacy turret, and as soon as it tags an overload champion, they will be stunned. And then just for extra insurance, we do have overload rocket launcher on our artifact as well. So Guardians, that's going to do it for the build. Very, very strong build. Makes it incredibly simple to solo content. Like I said, with all the artifact mods we have this season, this build is even more powerful than it was before. If you guys enjoy this build, leave a like down below and let me know down in the comments if you guys are going to try this out. And as always, if you got any builds of your own, let me know about that in the comments as well. And if you guys want to see me use these builds, follow me over on Twitch, where I always test out these builds in Master Lost Sectors, Grandmasters, and Raids live over on Twitch. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.